Phil, as you mentioned, there is a new meal kit delivery program. Instacart has partnered with Sunbasket for meal kits. They have soups, they have prep to eat meals, a whole bunch of products that are direct to consumer, which has become a bit of a competitive space.
It has. And if we look at Blue Apron and a lot of the other ones that fail, they failed for a bunch of reasons. Number one is you did have to have a subscription. Number two is you had to order 2 or 3 days ahead. With this Instacart program, that's eliminated. However, I have two problems. Number one is I don't think that most consumers want meal kits. It was a fad. You get all the ingredients, you put it together, you do that twice, and nobody wants to do it again. And the second one is looking at the app. This is shocking to me, the prices of what they have. So, for example, for cranberry thyme meatballs, which sounds great with Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes, $27.98. Now, it is a serving of two, but still. $27 for that. And then the one that's really shocking to me is Vietnamese noodle salad with 5-spice fish and strawberries, $47.96. Are you going to sign up for this?
Well, I do agree that it is very pricey. And my question would be, well, why don't I order delivery from a great local restaurant if I'm going to pay that much money? I also think that we've been hearing a lot of people have developed their cooking skills at home. And if it involves some sort of prep, then why wouldn't they just go get the ingredients themselves for a lower price and use these new culinary skills that they've developed over the pandemic?
Yeah, great point. Great point. Also, we heard just this morning that Instacart has acquired yet another firm. Instacart is really on this tear to change their business model. They just acquired FoodStorm, which is an Australian-based catering software company, and being able to take that software as an order management system for end-to-end order ahead and catering services, that it can be integrated into grocery stores. That from Grocery Dive, first thing this morning. And it's interesting, one of the facts that Grocery Dive has is that according to Instacart, and I don't know if this is true or not, but they say that prepared foods are in 21% of all Instacart baskets. I'd like to see a little bit more data on that. Is that fresh prepared foods in the store, or are they including frozen foods in that as well? Because that number seems really high to me. What else do we got?
Also today, we have a story about DoneGood, actually it's not new. It started in 2015, but it's grown into this space on the internet, DoneGood.com. These are products that have been sourced that are good for the planet. They're companies that make sure that the makers of these products are making sure that their employees are getting fair wages. They're making sure that there's sustainability in these. So basically, they are creating an Amazon for social change.
I love this website. I was on it this morning, going through, and for example, they only have 113 food products right now. So they've got sauces, they've got teas, they've got coffee, and especially now with what's going on in Brazil, and we're hearing about all the price increases of coffee, it might be a good time to go to DoneGood.com and look at some of the coffees. My favorite one is actually called. What is it called? Oh, my screen moved up. It's called Girls Run the World. That's the coffee, and it comes from Goronza Gosa. I'm mispronouncing that park in Mozambique. And 100% of the profits from every bag support girls' education in the national park. And the description that they have of the product is so much better than what we find on typical e-commerce sites. So on the coffee. It's a medium roast. It's 100% Arabica. It comes from Africa. The processing, that it's natural and washed. And then it goes into a whole story about the product, of what you would want. So check it out, especially on the food and drinks. And I just hope that they do great, because one of the things that I really want to see happen, frankly, is that they become really successful and they really do, compete heavily with folks like Amazon and give people an alternative to it. What else we got?
Well, Phil, we've been looking at some apps that are designed to prevent household food waste, which is one of the main culprits in food waste globally. So we looked at a few of these apps, and one that I took particular interest in is called Cozo, and it's COZ capital ZO. It's an app from Bulgaria, but it's now available in North America, and it's a really interesting app. You can input the products that you bought. You can scan barcodes. It will alert you when something is about to expire. And my favorite part about it is that if you've got something in your fridge that is going to expire soon, you can go to the recipes and you can put in, I've got tomatoes that are about to go bad, and find some recipes that will give you some ideas on how to use it.
Yeah, I love that as well. But you're not supposed to put tomatoes in the refrigerator. You know that, right?
Well, yes, you have told me that before. And
okay.
I do it.
and also, just to reinforce the point, what they say is that 61% of the 931 million tons of food waste comes from our homes.
Yeah.
Okay, what is Anheuser-Busch up to?
Anheuser-Busch is doing what some other beverage companies are doing, beer companies in particular, that are seeing declining sales in beer, which is surprising to me, because I thought maybe people were drinking more beer during the pandemic.
During the pandemic, that's what I've read also.
Yes. Yeah. But apparently that's not the case. So they have a product now that they're going to put into distribution that is called Shine Water. And what's special about this bottled water is that you get your daily dose of vitamin D in this water.
So why don't we just walk outside in the sunlight for vitamin D? I know all these companies, whether it's Miller Coors, whether it's Anheuser-Busch, they're struggling to do things. But also what I found really strange is that this Shine Water is going to be distributed on the West Coast, in the Northeast, and in Oklahoma. Why Oklahoma? I don't get Oklahoma for this product at all. Also, what's predicted by Statista is that the estimated retail sales of enhanced bottled water products like this are forecast to reach $503 billion next year. So obviously, it's a category that we need to be watching.
Agreed. There are so many different products. Like there are waters and milks with B12 in them, and all kinds of different supplements.
Yeah. And talking about food, there's a new study that came out that says that we should be, fasting.
Yes, we have seen, if you're following nutrition and dieting, then for a while now, you've probably been seeing a lot about intermittent fasting. This particular study is about time-restricted fasting. And it's important to note the difference, because intermittent fasting suggests caloric restriction. Right. Time-restricted fasting is simply not eating between a certain period of hours. And what researchers are suggesting is that golden ratio of time spent fasting is 8 to 16 hours. Now, that seems really broad, but the idea is that if you are eating, let's say you eat a snack at night before you go to sleep, then your glucose levels are going to go up and your cells are going to be working really hard while you're sleeping. And so the idea is to give your cells a break for a certain period of time.
So I do that every day when I sleep. I don't eat when I sleep.
Do you sleep 16 hours?
No, I don't sleep 16 hours. 7 to 8 hours. That's about it.